So the first time I heard the phrase oxidative phosphorylation, I think my brain melted because I was looking at a picture like this and I couldn't figure the whole thing out. So then I tried reading my textbook and even looked on Khan Academy. About the only thing I figured out was that oxidative phosphorylation required NADH and FADH2 to get electrons over to the mitochondrial matrix. I needed to have a proton pump to move my hydrogen ions into the mitochondrial inner membrane. Somewhere along the line, water was formed. There was also this thing called ATP synthase that moved hydrogen ions from the inner membrane space back out to the mitochondrial space. Why did this all have to be so hard? Why couldn't it be something easy, like a kid's board game? Why couldn't it be something fun like Hungry Hungry Hippos? So I got to thinking. The inside of the board playing field looks like the inner space of the mitochondria. The side component that collects the marbles looks like the mitochondrial matrix, and the hippos look like ATP synthase. Then if you think about the flipper, that's kind of like the proton pump that actively moves the hydrogen ions into the playing field. Now we know that electrons and hydrogen ions get delivered to the mitochondrial matrix by NADH and FADH2. For this example, the marbles are going to be hydrogen ions. So our flipper is going to be our proton pump, and it's going to use active ATP energy to move those hydrogen ions into the inner membrane space, which is our playing field. As the concentration of hydrogen ions in the mitochondrial intermembrane space goes up, the ATP synthase, also known as our hippos, are going to start collecting those extra hydrogen ions and move them back out into the matrix. Lastly, we have to account for the water formation. That single little yellow marble is going to be our single oxygen molecule, and it's going to find two hydrogen atoms to pair up with to make water. So the next time you play Hungry Hungry Hippos, you'll probably think a couple of things. 1, those little marbles sure look a lot like hydrogen ions. 2, that playing field reminds me a lot of mitochondria. 3, those hippos are working a lot like ATP synthase to collect all those hydrogen ions. 4, the flipper works just like the proton pump to put the hydrogen ions into the playing field. And 5, this is probably one of the most ridiculous analogies ever, but it kind of works. Thanks.